back up here. Um, Today I want to give you some advice on, because I drink a lot of Kratom, and I consider myself kind of a connoisseur of Kratom. And I've learned a lot from taking so much of it about myself and about the, the, the tea itself. I personally will always recommend a tea because it's easier to control the dosage, and it's almost more like a ritual. Like, you sit down, you have your hot tea, you relax, you contemplate, you start to feel the warmth of the euphoria come over you, and then it's kind of like coffee, where if you're sipping coffee, eventually you're gonna feel the caffeine, and that's what I'm drinking now is coffee. Um, so that's why I recommend. And with a toss and wash, you're getting a lot of that organic stuff just sitting in your gut, and it doesn't like to come out sometimes. It's water soluble, so it binds together like a mud, and just gets stuck in your intestines, and can be very uncomfortable and not the safest or healthiest, I would imagine. Um, Sorry for the So that's another reason I prefer the tea is I can strain out the organic material and just have the tea itself. And I recommend straining it because, again, even if you make a tea out of it and you just leave the powder in it, which I do 90% of the time, to be honest with you, you're still getting a lot of that bulk in your system, and it's still going to back you up and not make you feel wonderful inside. Another piece of advice with Kratom is how much to take. I start off with 5 to 10 grams in the morning, which is about the same, like a scooper that you would put of coffee in your coffee pot for 1 cup. I scoop about that much, put it in my cup, and then I pour my hot water in it and put my lemon and stuff in it. And lately I've been using Country Time lemonade, and it actually tastes good, and I can sip it and not gag every time I sip it. And it's sweetened, so you don't need as much sugar. It's artificially sweetened, so you're not getting any sugar at all, which I think is a good thing if you're getting. Because I started to get really fat from all the sugar I was putting in my tea, and I gotta quit saying strains. That's another big thing. Alternate your strains. If you start off having a cup of red in the morning because you want that nice calm start to your day, a little bit of energy, a little bit of a lot of pain relief, I'll start off with a cup of red every morning, and then when I'm ready for my second or third cup, I'll switch over to green because it gives me a totally different feeling. It gives me that euphoria, it gives me a lot of energy, so I can start cleaning my house and doing what I have to do. And then maybe I'll switch back to red again, or just to mix it up. Lately, I've been drinking a cup of tea and then maybe 2 cups of tea in the early morning because I wake up at like 12:30 in the morning. I operate on 4 hours worth of sleep because of medicine and stuff like that. That just kind of keeps me at a very irregular schedule. So about 12:30 when I wake up, I will make a cup of tea, have it. By 1 o'clock, I'm having my second cup. By 3 o'clock, I'm on my third cup. It is now 4:38, and I'm having my cup of coffee to kind of work with the mitragina. Caffeine and mitragina work very well together. My coffee really works. It gives me a lot of energy, and pain relief from the red is great. Plus a little bit of energy from the green mixed with the caffeine. I think the caffeine stimulates the green and makes the green a little more energy inducing. For me personally, I utilize Kratom because of the pain relieving factor that it has for me. have a reason for taking your Kratom. Don't just take it to get buzzed. I mean, if you're taking it to get buzzed, be honest with yourself and then choose a strain that makes you feel that way. For me, it's red. Red gives me the biggest buzz, and sometimes I do take it just to get buzzed because it's nice to feel good once in a while for no reason. Just to be able to sit back and not be in pain and to feel that happy feeling. Like right now, I have after the horrific day I had the other day, having the seizure and the medicine problems, today I feel amazing. I have no pain at all. My shoulders don't hurt. My spasticity is still bad, but it doesn't hurt. It's not like killing me anymore. And I wanted to demonstrate my disability just so you guys can see where I'm coming from. You see I've gotten pretty chubby, but this is how my arm is all the time. This is how I walk. It's not very attractive. It doesn't attract a whole lot of people. A lot of people think I'm cognitively not all there, like I might have a mental retardation problem or something, because a lot of people associate that bent arm, that spasticity, with cerebral palsy, which they can have a beautiful mind and still have CP, yet people judge them because of their speech pattern, and people don't feel comfortable around people that aren't perfect. And I personally don't like to be around too many people like myself who had a stroke. I used to go to a stroke group and I would feel very uncomfortable because I could just see everybody judging everybody else, and I just get uncomfortable. Me and this woman, she had a traumatic brain injury from crashing her bicycle, and when we would go get dinner together sometimes with my wife even, I would feel it would be awkward because it was like giving everybody a spectacle in the restaurant to look at. Look at the two gimps walking around. Wonder what happened to them. They must ride the special bus. And I just don't want that worry in my life. So we've talked about dosage, strain, reasoning, coffee. So to sum up, I would say pick a reason for taking Kratom and find the formula that works for you. For me, it's just starting with a red and then moving to a green, then moving to a cup of coffee, and then going back to red again to maintain, just so I can maintain that same euphoria. And again, if you're new to this channel, if you've not subscribed yet, I generally talk about Kratom every day. More different advice, where to get it, how to get it, why to get it. That's another piece of advice, where to get it. I'm really, for America, I'm pretty hooked on New Dawn. They have a really good price system. I love the fact that you can get a week's worth for $20. And you can get a month's worth for $90. I'm not 100% sure how much it was, but it was under $100. And it's good Kratom. I'll testify to that. It's good Kratom. And I've been drinking the Red Bali for the last week now, and it's as good of a red as I've had, even from the stuff I've had directly from Indonesia, right off the tree. It's just as good as that. I personally go through Indonesian because I want to support the local farmers there, and the quantity I get for the money, for the price, I get 3 pounds for $160, which 3 pounds will last me a few months, which is really nice because every month I was going through we're going to get $100 for a month's supply of Kratom, or maybe it would turn out to be maybe half a month's supply. So, yeah, where to get it from? So, like I said, if you're new to this channel, consider subscribing. It's gonna help me out a lot. And click like. That like button does matter. I'm finding. What it does is it puts me higher on the ranking in the algorithm, so that I show up more. And the more I show up, and the more people that subscribe, the closer I get to monetization, which I live on disability 100%, which is under $1,000 a month. And I live in low-income housing. I'm being very personal right now, but that's because that's who I am. I'm a very honest 100% person. And if I want to know who's giving me advice, I would like to know that stuff. So I live month to month, hand to mouth, and sometimes I have trouble buying groceries or buying my medicine, and which is why the donation was so amazing. I'm still touched by it. The fact that somebody that doesn't know me just through these videos decided to help me out, and that $20 made a huge. It gave me pocket money. I still have $8, which, oh no, Amazon Prime just came out, so I have about $3 right now, which is, my checking account's pretty low, but it always stays pretty low at this time, because I get paid on the 3rd again, so, and then rent comes out immediately, right off the top, which I can't complain about the rent because it's very cheap. It's under $1,000 a month, which is pretty average for Knoxville, about $1,000 a month for a 1-bedroom. And I just feel really good right now with getting off of that medication. I'm not shaken, I'm not spastic, my thoughts aren't racing, I'm not anxious. So just using Kratom for my anxiety medication, and the medication that I was on, it was called Zyprexa, or olanzapine, it's a generic name for it, and it has a lot of really bad side effects, and it's for an antipsychotic, and I'm not psychotic, so I don't know the reasoning, the thought behind putting me on it. I think she was just throwing a heavy-duty sedative in my system to calm my anxiety and to kind of bust me out of my depression. My depression is under control. Kratom has made a huge difference for an antidepressant for me because of the euphoria that I get from it. I know sometime during the day I'm going to feel good, and there's nothing wrong with that. Whether it's smoking cannabis or taking magic mushrooms or whatever it is that you might want to do, it's okay to feel good, we have that right. That's why we drink coffee to wake up. We're a chemically dependent society, so I can't judge anybody for what they're gonna do. I don't want to be around any more meth addicts because they've done some terrible things to me. They've stolen from me, and so I'm not. That's one that I avoid. Otherwise, in my music studio that I had going, if somebody wanted to bring some 420 into the studio, it didn't bother me at all. I didn't care. I'm behind the mixing board. And I'm going to I've decided to stay in America for the time being, just because I'm set up now, and I'm fairly comfortable in this little apartment, and I'm going to rent a mini warehouse, and I'm going to set up a professional recording studio and offer free recording to local bands just for the experience, so I can make a portfolio. And plus it's a lot of fun, and it's a full-time hobby for me to be able to stay in the music scene, because I was a bass player since I was 14 years old in bands, and got to a level of major label success until my wife said it's either me or the band, You know, because being in a band is like being married to 4 different guys, and so being married to 4 guys and then having a wife in that mix was really a lot of conflict. But the music I played was metalcore. I come from a punk rock background. I was a skateboarder when I was young, growing up. So I listened to Suicidal Tendencies, Excel, just a lot of the hard punk stuff, Exploited. Then I moved to hardcore, and I joined the hardcore scene, shaved my head, and put more big X's on my hands representing that I was straight edge. Straight edge is a punk rock movement where we completely abstain from all drugs and alcohol. I'm not sure where Kratom falls in the straight edge philosophy. A lot of people would call me a sellout now because I take this substance. So I've since stopped calling myself straight edge, and because to me Kratom is a medication. It's no different than coffee, and it's better for me than antidepressants, antipsychotics. So I make a lot of videos because I really enjoy connecting with you guys, and I read every single comment, and I try to reply to every single comment that I can get to. But we're up to 500 now, and if I can get to 1,000, then my life would be made excessively easier, because then I might make a couple hundred extra a month, which I could put towards my recording studio, and maybe have a little extra to go out to dinner with or something sometime, or I don't know, just to have money in my pocket. It's been so long since I've had financial freedom to do anything. Because when I was teaching, I was making decent money. I came straight out of college, and because I had a master's degree, 2 master's degrees, I bumped up on the pay grade right away, right from the get-go. And we complain as teachers. We complain that we don't earn enough. But that's pretty much every profession claims that. I was comfortable. My wife was making good money. I was making, I'll call it good money, and that we didn't want for anything. We had everything we wanted. We bought houses, brand new cars every 5 years. Now, if I want a new car, I've got to go without food. So I'm sticking with my old car that's paid for the time being. Eventually, though, I'm going to have to save enough money to get a new car. But that's another thing I do with this channel, is I get off Kratom topic and start to just do a personal blog, which is, for me, therapeutic. Which people do vlogs all the time, and which is just a video diary. And it's, me talking this out, I listen to these later and go, oh yeah, I remember when I used to think that way. Oh yeah, I do need to save money. Oh, I remember when that guy gave me that donation, that was so cool. So I go back and watch these videos myself, just for clarity and as therapy. I hope you all having an amazing weekend. I am so far. So I honestly do give a shit about you guys. So I care about how you feel, and I hope that these videos help you with getting through the maze of Kratom. Ooh, caffeine headache. Alright, you guys, I will see you tomorrow. Peace out.